this week I received an email from Isla, and she wanted to know, what are my thoughts on orthotic inserts for shoes? Yes or no? My gut reaction is no to orthotics, with a caveat of possibly yes, and let me elaborate. I want you to stop and think about an insert into a shoe of any type. When you look at, let's say this is your foot, right? And let's put this down here. When you're looking at an insert of an orthotic into the shoe, it's either designed to keep you from pronating or supinating. You fall inward with pronation, you fall outward with supination. Well, if this is your foot, this is your ankle, this is your knee, you've got to think about if your body has a natural, what we would consider a gait, right? When you're running along, that foot's going to land, and then that foot's going to, in the ankle, the knee, and the top of the femur, it's going to go through its natural biomechanical landing, stabilize, and then toe off. Well, now if I put an insert, let's just exaggerate it and say that this is an insert. When your foot now goes to roll inward, it hits this bumper. Well, what it does is it sends essentially a redirect of biomechanic positioning to the knee and to the hip. So what we have seen more than not is that we've seen orthotics. If you're having problems in your feet and now you're running with orthotics or you're walking with orthotics, what it does is it just distributes the problem from your foot, now goes up to your knee. If it doesn't go to the knee, it'll go up into the hip or the lower back. Now, we have seen people that have they've gone and met with a good orthopedic surgeon and or a good orthopedist who says, hey, look, biomechanically, we're not going to be stopping your normal range of motion. Maybe they're going to do a partial. They're trying to maybe get a foot into a neutral position. We have seen that result in very, very positive results, meaning the pain goes away, and if you're a runner, you're going to be more efficient as an athlete. Because obviously we don't want the energy to go left to right. We need the energy to go forward at all times. The question came in, what are my thoughts on orthotic inserts? I've seen people become injured by them, and I've seen people become faster by them. The takeaway on this video is please do your own research. And what I mean by that is find a good orthopedic surgeon or an orthopedist who understands what you're trying to accomplish, because we don't want to be building up an orthotic inside the shoe that could be so tall that it could cause other biomechanical issues. You need to take your running shoes, your walking shoes to the doctor, let them see your wear patterns. I can't emphasize this enough. I've seen it both work and I've seen it not work. Me personally, I actually was running a marathon and had my knees blow out. Literally, I thought I had gotten shot by a gun. Literally, I looked around. That's how bad the knee pain was, and it was in both knees immediately. I went and got orthotics put in. My knee pains only got worse. After talking with a dear friend of mine, Dr. Robert Weatherwax, he showed me that I had muscular imbalances between my quads and my hamstrings, and that's why my knee was not tracking properly in the patella groove. That's just my personal experience. When you ask me if you need orthotics, I'm always going to say no. Let's look at the strength the strength ratios between the front and the back of the leg. Let's look at your flexibility in relationship to strength. Then let's decide if it's time to go see an orthopedist. Again, I am not smarter than a doctor. If you have pain, please go see a specialist. But please make sure that you exhaust the idea, is it a muscular imbalance or is it a strength to flexibility issue, before you start jamming your feet up with inserts. Because remember, if you start changing the angle of one joint, it changes everything north of that. So keep that in mind when you're making that executive decision. Great question, as always, that comes from you guys. If you happen to have a question, it could be relevant to anything under the sun, could be a frustration or something you're looking for clarification, please feel free to send it to us. contact@coachrob.com. We put out a new video every morning, so if you haven't subscribed and turned on your notifications, I would encourage you to do so. Thank you for your time today, and we certainly look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.